Good morning again, everyone. It's today's Trader's Daily Discipline for Tuesday, the 26th of August, 2025. I'm your host, as always, Jason Allen Jankowski, the Lion of LaSalle Street. Thank you all for coming and listening. I appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your trading day to spend it with me. I've got a lot more content at my website, Net Winning Trader. Hope you get a chance to peruse that. I'm going to have some new free content sent out during September. I want you to be ready for that. And then also, um, as I do as often as I can, I love to invite you guys to our Traders social media network exclusively for traders, the Market Mastery Meetup. If you haven't had a chance to try that, it's 2 weeks free. Just sign up. You need the link, let me know. It is on the website, but if you need it, I can get it for you. And it's all in your emails. It's all in there too. So if you just want to wait till next time you have a chance to peruse some content that I sent you, feel free. But I wanted to go ahead and just get us started today on on a happy note. You know, we've been spending a lot of time talking about the relationship between what people believe and the results they get. And we've been looking at this in somewhat of a negative way. And that's something that I want to change today. Let's flip the switch a little bit and show you something different. Today's quote to get us started, of course, is unless you believe, you will not understand. And that is from St. Augustine, one of the heroes of the Christian faith. And he wrote a book called uh, I want to say the Confessions. Sometimes it's the Apology. I think depends if you read it in Latin or early translation or whatever. But Augustine wrote a book called The Confessions, where he talks about all the things that he went through during his life, going from the absolute pit of debauchery and wickedness to the heights of spiritual achievement and understanding. Um, it's really an interesting book. Uh, One of the things that he said was, unless you believe, you will not understand. In other words, there comes a part in our lives, there comes a time in our life when getting those things we're missing really have to, based on whether or not we're just going to believe it's going to show up. One of the more common ways that this type of thinking gets into our head is through, well, what you see lately in the people in the pop psychology movements, where they'll talk about, listen, you have to talk it or speak it into existence. The universe is there waiting to give you what you want, but your thoughts are things, and you have to say and believe that what you want is on its way to you. It's kind of basically saying the same thing, right? Unless you believe, you will not understand. When we talk about the belief structures that lead to losses, we've covered a few of those. Um, and of course, there are belief structures that lead to gains, and this is one of them. Is if you really want to understand how to increase your profitability, you have to believe that you can understand how to increase your profitability. I think I may have told the story to you before. My dad, famous example of a guy, and I love my dad. He's not a bad guy. He just made a mistake one time, and he got a phone call from a broker, asked him to make an investment in some stock. He thought it was silly, hung up the phone. And when I said to him, Dad, what was all that about? I mean, I was a kid. And he said, well, some broker in New York wanted me to make an investment in stock. And then he said, who's going to buy a computer named after a fruit? And of course, that was Apple Computers, early days. Where would he have been now if you put 10 grand into that, right? Unless you believe, you will not understand. If you don't believe something is possible, it's not going to happen. Doesn't matter how likely it is or how much somebody else knows it'll happen. If you don't believe it, it's not going to happen for you. A lot of times when people ask me, how did you come to an understanding to see things in the markets the way you do? I said, well, I had to believe that I could figure this out. And there's a lot of years, a lot of time spent barking up the wrong tree and chasing down the wrong information, and I just didn't know that. And when I learned that, and I was able to get on the right side of how markets create price action and do it regularly now, uh, it became effortless. And one of the things that is really difficult for some traders to believe is that this is not a difficult business. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's simple. This is a very simple thing to do. It doesn't require any effort of any kind. In fact, the less you do, the more likely you are to succeed. So I really strongly encourage you to take this note from St. Augustine. Unless you believe, you will not understand. What is it that you're just not believing positively for yourself? What is it that's waiting for you to grab a hold of and add it to your trading approach so that you can start making some true bank, real money? Where's it? Where is that thing you're missing? Is that something that you just don't believe you can find? You're just not ready to accept, or you just don't want to believe? What if that's something that really is a simple thing, and it's something you could appropriate starting today if you just opened your eyes up enough to say, you know what, I'm going to believe that that's true, and I'm going to start looking for that result. What is it for you that could be on that plate? So, guys, have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow on Wednesday. In between now and then, I'd love to hear some feedback. I've had a couple of nice feedbacks already from some listeners, as well as a couple of likes and all that good kind of stuff on social media, so I appreciate that. Thank you. And guys, I'll look forward to our next time together tomorrow. Have a great trading day. Thanks.